We know it as Jonah and the whale, but the original text never mentions that kind of creature. So why do we think it's a whale? In the Hebrew Bible, the creature that swallows Jonah is a dag gadol, or a big fish. The Greek translators of the Hebrew text interpreted the big fish as a katos, a sea monster. For more on why they made that interpretive move, check out my video, Jonah and the Dragon Part 1. So how did a big fish turn into a sea monster and then transform into a whale? It all started with the brilliant Englishman William Tyndale. Educated at Oxford and Cambridge, Tyndale became convinced that the whole Bible needed to be translated into English. He famously quipped, "I will cause a boy that drives the plow. He shall know more of the scriptures than the Pope." In 1524, Tyndale asked Cuthbert Tunstall, the Bishop of London at the time, to finance a translation of the Bible into English. This would be the first official and complete English Bible translated from its original languages, starting with the New Testament. Tunstall refused to back Tyndale's project. Not only that, Tunstall forbade all London publishers from printing heretical books, which included the Bible in English. Tyndale, already in trouble for his outspoken sympathies with the budding Protestant Reformation, left England to start printing his translation of the New Testament. After leaving England for good, Tyndale jumped from nation to nation on the European mainland, avoiding English authorities, eventually finding a publisher in Germany to print his English translation of the Bible. His first complete New Testament was published in 1526. Thousands of the tiny Tyndale Bibles were smuggled into England. Revised editions of Tyndale's Bibles were printed in 1534 and 1536, of which only one complete Tyndale Bible remains. It can be argued that no single text has had more of an effect on the English language than Tyndale's Bible. He made translation decisions that continue to resonate to this day. For example, Tyndale translated Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, one of the Beatitudes, as, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Another Tyndalian translation from the Apostle Paul this time, the second half of Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, reads, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Tyndale's Bible had a profound effect on English speakers, so every translation decision he made had long-lasting consequences, for good or ill. Tyndale's translation decisions lead us back to Jonah's whale. Matthew chapter 12, verse 40 in Tyndale's Bible says, "For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall ye, Son of Man, be 3 days and 3 nights in ye heart of ye earth." He adds a comment that he knows the original Greek of Matthew is not the word for whale. The Greek word is the same word the Septuagint translators opted for in their translation from Hebrew to Greek of Jonah's big fish, katos. However, Tyndale recognized that the creature that swallowed Jonah was some kind of big fish, so he opted for a whale in Matthew chapter 12. Interestingly, Tyndale was not consistent with his translations of Jonah's fish. He chose to translate the Hebrew of Jonah, dag gadol, which means big fish, as great fish, not a whale. Unfortunately, Tyndale was eventually discovered by the English authorities for his Bible translations and arrested. After an extended imprisonment, he was strangled and burned at the stake in 1536. Only 1 year later, Henry VIII authorized the first official English Bible, the Matthew's Bible, which included all the books Tyndale had translated in his Bible, word for word. The King James Bible, published in 1611, is almost 80% of Tyndale's translation, including Matthew chapter 12, verse 40, where they continued Tyndale's whale translation. The popularity and ubiquity of the King James Bible for hundreds of years has cemented the idea that Jonah was swallowed by a whale, despite most modern English translations of Matthew chapter 12's creature now as a big fish. The whale translation has impacted literature, Sunday school material, and pop culture. The famous story of an angry whale, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, published in 1851, draws language from the book of Jonah. The 1940 Disney movie Pinocchio combined Melville's enraged whale with the book of Jonah's great fish swallowing. And countless Sunday school curricula have depicted a praying Jonah inside a happy whale. These visuals have further perpetuated Tyndale's translation decision, virtually codifying the identity of Jonah Swallower as a whale. One man's choice has endured for generations. Although the creature is really a sea monster, English speakers the world over have whale stuck in their minds, thanks to Bible translation and cultural reinforcement. For further reading, check out everything you would want to know about William Tyndale and David Teem's book, Tyndale, The Man Who Gave God an English Voice. See the video's description for a link to his website, and please subscribe to my channel to keep an eye out for Jonah Part 3.